Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS. Paul here. After a bit of a break, I'm back. I'm making videos again. And before I hop into today's video, I've actually got a couple of announcements. So the first and the biggest is that we are doing a Team APS Summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! So starting today, I'm going to try to upload a video every single day this summer, at least one video, maybe even two. I'm going to try to stick to the schedule for as long and feasibly as possible. But yeah, so definitely subscribe. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have, deck profiles, real life duels, a lot of the stuff that you guys have been asking for. And of course, more discussions. Maybe we'll do some skits. And there's a lot of stuff. And that kind of gets into my second announcement, which is that I'm finally playing Yu-Gi-Oh again in real life. For those of you guys who may not have known, I've mostly just played like online, kind of kept up with the game for the sake of videos and things, but I've never really been able to go to like locals and events a lot and really build decks, but that's something I've recently gotten back into, and I'm really excited because it means that I'm going to be able to go to a couple more events and, play more in real life, which means more like real life deck profiles, real life duels, and I think that also means the content will be more centered and more focused because I'll be physically playing the game. I think that's a really big deal. And speaking of events, announcement number 3, we're going to Yu-Gi-Oh Nationals this year, or at least that's the plan. Yu-Gi-Oh Nationals is in Chicago, Illinois. It's July 7th, 8th, and 9th, if I'm correct, and the plan is for us to all go out. I've actually been to lots of regionals, lots of YCS events, never in Nationals before. But every time we've gone to events, it's been a lot of fun meeting fans, taking pictures, signing things, dueling people. It's just been a great time. I'd love to vlog the experience. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Let us know if you're going. You can meet us there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that segues into the 4th announcement, which is we're going to be live streaming this summer. So now that school is out, I have a lot more time and energy to pour into the channel. And you guys might know I've actually live streamed in the past, but I want to try to make it as consistent as I can. I don't have a set schedule yet, but I want to try to stream most days, honestly, most weekdays. We'll work on a schedule, we'll work on exactly what it'll be. It could be Yu-Gi-Oh video games, it could be real life, gameplay, playtesting, duels, things like that. It could just be discussions or maybe even some other video games. And part of the goal here is to help to crowdfund the trip to Nationals. As you guys know, Nationals is expensive, and as college students, it's not nearly as feasible as you might think. So if you want to donate, that'll be a thing that you can do through the live streams. We'll have maybe some benefits involved with that. But again, more information about that in the streams themselves. And then the last announcement is that I finally have Team APS t-shirts. So these are provided through Teespring. They're done in campaigns. And right now, I have 2 awesome basic shirts, the Team APS basic logo tee, and then I've also got the Team APS logo with the group of all of us on there. So check out the link in the description. You can get a shirt for yourself. I try to make them, as cheap and affordable as possible. They're really good shirts, honestly. So I hope you guys, if you're interested, will buy them and support us, wear them to events. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So those are all of the announcements I have to make. Now, today's video. We're gonna talk about the ban list. The new ban list came out actually last week, and I wanted to make a sort of reaction video, but then I figured, I'll wait a little bit, collect my thoughts, and then thought it'd be better too to start the Summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! With something that everybody wants to talk about. So, a few interesting things about this ban list before we actually talk about the list itself. This came earlier than expected. Some people think that it's like an emergency ban list. Some people think that it's a ban list that was gonna happen anyway. It is a little bit strange to me that the list would come out towards the end of May, but wouldn't go into effect until almost a month later, kind of in the middle of June. So it's a little bit weird, but I do think that the timing coming right after YCS Pittsburgh with all the Zodiac decks being, just so dominant there, it feels like it's a mix. Maybe it was not meant to be an emergency ban list, but maybe it was. Not really sure. Either way, another cool thing is that they said we're not going to be getting another ban list before August 2017. So that's actually great for a lot of reasons. A, it means Konami is communicating with us, which is rare. Ever since we've gotten this whole ban list whenever they feel like it thing, it's been sort of tough to know should I buy stuff, should I invest, should I sell my cards now, should I wait? It's cool to know that there's definitely a set time when we'll get another ban list, sort of, or at least, an idea. And so that also helps us Yu-Gi-Tubers, sort of move our content around that, because before we never really knew if we should make a ban list predictions video, because it's well, when will there be one? So now we know, August 2017, we shouldn't get a new ban list before then. All right, so let's talk about the actual cards on the list. This is a pretty small ban list. In my opinion, it, felt like it could have come out, honestly, with the one in April, but whatever. So, first and foremost, Norden is banned. I agree with this decision. I know that there are a lot of people who are kind of unhappy about it, and I will address that in a second, but I think that it should be known, okay, disclaimer, I actually was not a hardcore like Norden hater. When Norden was at 1, I was okay with it for a really long time. I was like, this card's, it's annoying, it kind of starts some combos, but it's you can deal with it, it's not so bad. At 3, it was obviously kind of crazy, but I felt like at 1, it was, reasonable, pretty healthy. People were using it with instant fusion, but it helped. It meant like low tier decks, could use it to make like a free synchro player, free rank 4 exes, and it wasn't too bad. The Bahamut Shark, totally awesome stuff. Got annoying, but I mean, like, I was still like, this isn't terrible. But when that freaking fusion substitute combo became a thing in Zodiacs, that's crazy. That many draws, that long of a turn, that much abuse of a card is crazy to me. And so I'm really honestly glad that this card got hit. I don't want to say it was a long time coming, because like I said, I mean, I didn't have a huge problem with Norden, but once the fusion sub combo, once I saw that and you just sort of watch what it can do in other games as well, I hate to say this word, it really felt just pretty degenerate, pretty toxic. Not a lot of fun to play against, highly favors the player who just gets to kind of do it first. And so this is a really good hit to the Zodiac deck that doesn't, kill Zodiac as an archetype, because I don't think that's necessarily fair. It just kills a super abusable combo. So I'm okay with Norden getting hit. I know that it hurts a lot of rogue decks, lower tier decks, but them's the breaks. There are people who say that they maybe should have just hit Zodiacs more. There are people who say, keep Norden, right? But I think that this was the right thing, because Norden was getting increasingly more and more abused, so I can see where they're coming from here with just going ahead and banning it. Next is Terratop going limited to 1. So I don't have too much of a problem with this. I think a lot of people thought this was going to happen actually sooner. It really does suck for Speed Void decks though. Like, this is one of those things where this just bites. Like, Terratop is the center of a Speed Void deck. And I know, like, Speed Voids aren't, like, maybe the most popular deck. It doesn't see, like, meta play. It's just an engine, Terratop, Takatom board. But still, Terratop at 1, I mean, man. Ouch. Speed Void Wind Witches and stuff like that just isn't really, like, a viable thing anymore. But as a card, I think that Terratop was, it probably needed to get limited, like I said earlier than before. It's better than Tour Guide, it's a power crept Tour Guide, and I think that it's okay that it is, because, now players actually have to use their normal summon if they want to make rank 3s, and there are still loads of other options, like Balbaboon and, Predaplant, Orphis Scorpio. Those two engines are, they offer some advantages actually over Terratop. Like the Balbaboon lets you kind of sort through your hand, and it's got some synergy with like Dragonic Diagram and stuff, and the Predaplant engine lets you actually search an instant fusion or a brilliant fusion or other fusion. But they are more fair, I think, and so I agree with this. It means that, Zodiacs, for example, lose one of their more powerful opening plays, and it means that you don't just get like Terratop just thrown into random decks simply to make a rank 3. So I don't like it for Speed Void players, but I see why it happened. I actually think it should have happened earlier. And the last limitation was that grass looks greener. And if you follow me on social media a bit, I post about this card a fair bit. Not a big fan of that grass looks greener. No, don't get me wrong. I don't hate the card, and I will say I'm glad it didn't get banned. I'm glad it only got limited. But yeah, that grass, it just, when I read it, it kind of feels like one of those 2003, 2000, those 2000, early 2000s Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are like, painful choice and stuff, where it's like, what were they thinking? This is just so like, just badly balanced. The concept's fun, don't get me wrong, but like when you mill 20 cards, it's cool if it's like a Skull Servant deck or something, and that's like a lot more fun, but man, those Lightsworn zombie hybrids that were just like getting, and with the freaking Fairy Tale Snow, getting so much advantage, like it felt like when that grass resolved, you usually just lost. You were just completely out-resourced. It put your opponent so far ahead, and those decks annoy me even more than Infernoids. And I don't think that like Infernoids or Lightsworns are dead because of this. I mean, maybe the Lightsworn deck is hurting a bit more, but Infernoids can still play. They still got Void Feast variants. And like I said before, I'm glad that the card isn't banned. I like that it's a 1 because it means, you can still use this card. It can still be like kind of a wild card thing, like the trump card, but it's just no longer like at 3 and super consistent where you can just easily build a deck around it and abuse it so quickly and so consistently. So, if you want, you can still run like a left arm offering thing with this card and, do shenanigans, but I like that it's at 1. I'm glad it's not banned. I don't think it deserves to be banned. I just didn't like the decks, and so being at 1 seems reasonable. Now, I know some people are kind of angry because it's like, well, it already got, nerfed despite the existence of Ash Blossom, but Ash Blossom's expensive. Not everybody has that card, so for the rest of us, having to deal with those annoying 60 card decks really sucked. So I agree with the hit to 1. I'm glad it didn't get banned. And for all of the, let's see, what was it? Skull Crobat Joker, Wisdom Eye Magician, and Pendulum Call all going to 3. This is great for Magician players. I have no problem with it. I am not a Magician's player. I don't play any of those decks. I never really have gotten super into them. But no hate to them. I'm glad they got their stuff back. It always felt weird when like Wisdom Eye got limited kind of out of nowhere. And I see why Skull Crobat Joker had to, and maybe Pendulum Call, but I think it's all fine at 3. This was clearly a marketing ploy for, you know, that next set, whatever it is, a Pendulum Evolution, that just to sell that. It kind of sucks because like Link mechanics are going to nerf Pendulum so much, make it really difficult for them to play. But at least they get, you know, a few weeks in the limelight, you know, being able to really make their plays to the best of their ability, and that's really cool. And also, Alec is building a Magician deck now, so we're gonna try to get a profile of that up soon. Thumbs up if you want to see it. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much the ban list. It's very short, it's very sweet. I don't, you know, want to say it's a great ban list or like a, it's not terribly interesting. Like if you don't care about, you know, Magician's cards, this ban list isn't super interesting to you, but it feels kind of like what maybe just should have happened in April, you know, the Terratop and the Norden hits at least. That grass maybe not, but I mean like, there's not too much interesting stuff here. It's kind of predictable. There were things I really maybe would have liked to have seen, like maybe Kaiju Slumber getting limited. I'm not a really big fan of that card. Possibly like Dimensional Barrier, but it's not as popular right now, so whatever. And obviously True Draco and stuff wasn't going to get hit, so. Things I'm interested in seeing after this ban list is if Zoodiac can sort of bounce back from this. I've seen some videos already. My friend Nimnim made a combo video for Zoodiacs, you know, post this ban list. I think a lot of channels honestly have talked about it, so there's lots of videos you can see where Zoodiac players are still going to be able to manage, and I'm glad that Zoodiac as a deck is not dead. Typically speaking, I am not an advocate of like harshly neutering decks. I would rather hit key problem cards, whether it's in the archetype or not, like Norden, but I don't like to see a deck just get completely bashed because of, like, because, I mean, what about people who just like Zoodiacs and just want to play it? I think that it's fine for Zoodiacs to be a top deck and a good contender. I just don't think that the whole, like, it being techable and everything and it having these obnoxious, you know, obscene amounts of pluses, that's a problem. So I don't have a problem with it. I want to see where Zoodiacs go from here. I want to see if they dominate now over True Dracos, just sort of pure True Draco builds, because I think that that's going to become a slightly stronger deck just sort of by association, if that's the right term. And yeah, so that's kind of going to be an interesting thing. I want to see maybe if how this affects sort of the hand trap situation, because Zoodiacs previously ran so many hand traps. Does this mean that like Ash Blossom's a little less useful now because it's not quite as needed, or does, you know, how this kind of affects prices? I still think the Zoodiacs are going to be one of the top decks. I think True Dracos will still be. I think True King Dinos maybe will, you know, get a little bit more popular now because of it. But yeah, all in all, not a very interesting ban list, but not a bad ban list. Doesn't do anything wrong. It's just kind of is what it is. I'm more interested in seeing what happens after Link monsters come out. I think that'll be a much bigger ban list with a lot more to talk about. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's just talk about it. You know, what do you think of the ban list? I know it's been out for a few days, so maybe that means people have had more time to think about it, you know, not just so much knee-jerk reactions, you know, have some intelligent thought. All in all, I'm going to give it a, I guess, a thumbs up. Like, it's just kind of what it is. And that's really it. So, yeah. Remember, like I said at the start of the video, this is the first in our Summer of Yu-Gi-Oh series. I am really excited about this. New Yu-Gi-Oh video every single day this summer. Subscribe, you don't want to miss it. And we're going to be live streaming again. We're going to be at Nationals. It's going to be great. And we have t-shirts. Check those out. All the information, it's all in the description. I'm really excited. You should be excited. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Remember to like the video if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and I will see you guys in the next one.